This is just a quick update on some collective energy because there is a group of feminine energies that's like gossiping about you. And my poster in my kitchen kind of reminds me of this because it's like this mafia energy. And I was channeling that, like I was channeling Goodfellas. And you know how in Goodfellas, like the wives all like congregate and do like their little gossip thing and they like talk to each other about everything that's going on because everything is like one big family, except it's not one big family. And like whenever one like subdivision of this group goes down, they kind of just like watch from outside. Hey Sky. So I feel like there's some kind of group of feminine energies, and I was talking about how this could be like in your family because I'm having eczema flare-ups in on my arms, which is Gemini energy, which is like your neighbors, your coworkers, your like classmates, your siblings. And then also I'm having it on my chest, and that's like the family home environment, like your country, your nation, like wherever your loyalties lie. And then it goes all the way up to my neck. So there's some kind of attack on your self-expression here from people who are like the closest around you, who are having the most time to like experience you in your natural authentic energy. And the reason why this is happening is because of how high quality and unique you are in your presence. Like whatever you're doing, however you are, you're so special that you can't be replicated in some kind of way. Like for me, I'm one of the only black women like in the desert here because it's a military town, and so I'm literally physically built differently than a lot of the people who are here, and it inspires like jealousy because like I waist train and I'll walk around my dog, you know, and I'll wear it. And I know I look like a bad bitch, right? And I'm not married. And like a lot of the women out here are. And they're like kind of like imprisoned. Like honestly, like the women out here are really down bad. A lot of them, like I see them in their cars and they drive by and they'll be like looking out the passenger seat, like at the window, and they look so miserable. Like they're like prisoners to their husbands and stuff. I'm not saying that's like everybody, but a lot of the negativity that I receive is from like people who have negativity a lot within them that they want to project outwards towards other people as being the cause because they can't look at their own choices as like having put them in the positions that they're in. So when they're having like these like really unhappy home lives where they don't like feel comfortable or happy or like allowed to have, like be individualistic, it's because they've like chosen to sacrifice those things. But instead of like seeing that, they look at me when I wear my little bunny hats and I wear my cute little waist trainer and I walk my dog and I have my own routine separate from any man, and there's no control over like how far I can walk and what I can do and what I can wear, and they get mad at me, right? So just be aware of the projection of energy, and understand that it's not you. Because another thing that I was saying in the previous like recording, because I tried to record this first and once again I ran out of storage. But I was talking about how a lot of times like my guides communicated to me that they try to like level the playing field by making you feel how they feel. So I think the goal is that like by making my skin break out everywhere, that I'll like cover my skin more. I live in the desert, you know, like it's hot. It's getting cooler now, so it's not as big of a deal. But like I'm not gonna cover my skin just because you guys are like ugly and you know it and I'm not, you know? So if people are like sending you attacks to make you feel like there's less, like you have less value, just be aware that's just how they feel about themselves. My cat is like getting the zoomies and she's my protective cat. She usually only gets the zoomies at night because she's the one who like watches over me while I sleep. Like she does a lot of the astral travel during the day, and then she's like nocturnal. But right now she's like moving all around, and I just came back from the coffee shop that I go to every morning that I've made a new routine. When I walk my dog, I just stop and I get something to drink, and then I start my morning and I just feel like I get a little treat, you know? So if you've had some kind of lifestyle shift that like reflects because like, you know, I always had money for like a $5 coffee, but I'm only just now making it a point to go and get one. So you know, if you've made any kind of lifestyle shifts, like maybe you started to do yoga, maybe you're like your gym progress is starting to like really show off when you're in the gym, and like your outfits are looking really good and the other girls are in there like, when is my progress coming, you know? It's not like, I don't even know if everybody is like, she just hit the podium. I don't even know if everybody is intentionally negative towards you. I just feel like some people just lack their self to be able to redirect themselves. Like I spoke about, like in my own life, when I feel jealousy, it's usually towards like other tarot readers and like their success, and I see it and I'm like, I wish I was there right now and I'm not there yet. But I always have to like check myself, because God does not like that, right? Like you can't assume that anybody else's process has been easier than yours. You can't assume that they're having a more enjoyable life experience than you are. Like you have to make sure that you're fully appreciative and grateful for wherever you are, and that you just like, instead of being jealous, you choose to be inspired. Like the conscious choice to like move yourself out of jealousy and into inspiration is important, because you're gonna have like feelings of envy. But people like that, who let themselves become consumed by it, who let themselves believe that there's actual basis in their anger towards anyone else, those are people who end up like, when I do a return to sender, they might end up getting like fucking skin cancer, you know? Like theirs isn't gonna go away. You know, theirs is not gonna fade. So just be aware, because whatever you're putting out genuinely does come back towards you, even if it's coming in like an entirely different form. And whatever you think you could be getting away with right now in terms of like sabotaging another person is probably not gonna last over the long term. So just try your best not to ever move out of any kind of intentionally hateful energy, even towards the people who are like doing this to you, right? Because people at my coffee shop, I already know who they are. Like I know who they are, and they don't even like, they're not even really mean in a direct way, you know, because I'm a person who like, I'm a neurodivergent. So, you know, a lot of people when I was younger, like middle school and high school, took advantage of the fact that like I can't always read between the lines very well. So you can pretend to be nice to me for a while, usually, before I realize that it's not genuine. So and now I'm very sensitive to like, especially in women, how they talk like sideways, because I'm not a sideways talker. Like I usually communicate very directly and clearly, but I've noticed that a lot of the reason why I don't have a lot of female peers is because I don't really think and operate very much like them. Like I've never really felt like I fit in with most women, so you could resonate with that because of the fact that you're just more serious, or you have more like masculine energy. Because I think a lot of the women or feminine energy that you could be surrounded by are like pretty feminine, like almost like hyper feminine, to the point where like what they see you having, you've given to yourself. Like I said, I'm an independent woman, and I'm surrounded by a lot of married women, so like they have a lot more than the material. They have like cars. I don't have a car. I walk everywhere. You know, but it's like the stuff that I can do. Like I can make myself my own little cool little hat, or like my own little cool little stuffed animals, and I can still buy myself little $10 bouquets, and I can decorate my house in a cool way, and I don't need a man to like do those things for me. So it's not necessarily even what I have, it's more like my freedom and my access and my range. Like a lot of women don't even believe that they can do things for themselves, and like have literally given up like all chances of ever doing anything for themselves like very early. And then like have become cemented in that lifestyle and that routine in a way that my success literally is offensive to them, because it makes them feel so small. So just be aware of like people around you who are realizing how small they've made themselves into, or like what mold they've forced themselves into, just through the reference of your freedom. Because I'm not only like you know, a pretty woman sometimes, I'm also like a tomboy, and I dress and I gender bend, you know. So like people have the opportunity to see me exercise full creative freedom in my expression all the time. So it's not even just like feminine energies that I have beef with, right? Because there's also some like conservative masculine energies that don't always like to see me included in like their boys club. Like I call myself a soldier of Sekhmet. I've never like, I come from a military family and like a gangster family, and that's more of what I mean when I mean soldier. I mean like person who has suffered and endured over a long period of time, like really hard things, and has like a mission that they're like headed to, like they have a purpose. So that's why I call myself that. But whenever like I'm in this military area, they're like, you're not a soldier, because I'm not a Marine, you know, so, or not officially. So that's like a thing that's going on, is like you could be something without being something, and then there's just energy of like insecurity about what your access difference looks like, even not fully being a thing, or not having all the material world backing to support your status. But yeah, that's what I have. Thank you for watching. Bye.